There's something deeply unsettling about this case, and often the real clues are in what remains unspoken. For the Nancy Guthrie investigation, we've reviewed every press conference. But this time, we are dissecting every single moment. We're analyzing the specific language, the inflection, the hesitations, and the details most people overlook. Because when you scrutinize them, a different narrative starts to emerge. Let's examine the evidence. When this began, we were uncertain of what we were dealing with. As the day wore on, we suspected there was far more to the story. And our approach shifted from there. Remember, this began as a search and rescue, only later transitioning into a criminal investigation. That shift brought in our FBI partners, and our work for her continues. We know her prescriptions and have reached out to pharmacies, though we may need to circle back in case we spoke to them too early. I recall that night, Saturday evening into Sunday morning, we were conducting constant hospital checks, which were repeated every hour. We sent units out to be physically present. Deputies were visiting each area hospital and requesting manual reviews of their intake records. I am unable to discuss the crime scene, so you can ask another question. My follow-up is, I heard an agent refer to this as a joint investigation. However, at the previous press conference, the FBI said they were assisting. So is it officially joint now? Are both agencies leading the case? Look, there are no egos involved. In this region, we'll accept any help offered. This isn't about who is in charge. From the first day we reached out to the FBI, they graciously offered whatever we needed. Whatever support we required, it's as simple as that. They are great partners, just like my local law enforcement colleagues. I never even had to make the request. That is the most remarkable part. I have not had to call anyone. They have been calling me sheriff, as you're aware. Information comes in, and this is typical for any crime scene we handle. We can process a scene thinking we have everything, then analyze the evidence, and something flags a question like, hey, was this checked? We are not going to simply dismiss that and fail to follow up. Of course not. For this matter, the FBI just wanted to ask, hey, could we get a look at it? Are you concerned about that being contaminated? Given that people were present, I will leave that for the courts to address. We will be completely transparent with the courts about anything taken from that house, and we operate within the law. We obtain court orders and reapply for new warrants if it becomes necessary. We have been very thorough regarding the last person known to have seen Nancy and driven her home. We know she hired an Uber to get to Annie's house. Can you confirm if it was Annie or her son-in-law Tommaso who brought her home later? I believe the timeline that the sheriff gave indicated it was a family member, simply family. We're sticking with a family member. And as I've mentioned, her mobility was severely restricted, right? We are certain she did not just walk out of that location. That much we know for a fact. Evidence at the scene indicates this was not a voluntary departure. Our search and rescue teams were not deployed without a clear strategy. They are currently going door to door with our criminal investigation division. This involves our entire Bureau of Detectives, not just the homicide unit. I was personally at the scene last night. We had roughly 100 Sheriff's Department vehicles on location, all assigned to this case. Believe me, I wish I could share more. I truly do. I know everyone wants specific details, but it would be inappropriate to release them now. Was there any evidence of a break-in or physical violence? Again, I am not going to get into that. David, can you clarify your question? At this time, this remains a very active and ongoing investigation. Circumstances at the scene are what we consider suspicious in nature. I believe that is the most accurate way to describe it. However, we cannot delve into further details on that matter. Regarding cameras at the home, yes, there are, and we are reviewing that footage. Given this is an active crime scene, is there a current threat to the public? One moment, I'm just checking my phone. I do not believe there is an active threat, but I hesitate to say that because, you see, we still need to canvass that neighborhood in case a prowler has been seen. We still have a significant amount of work to do. We have no indication the public is in danger, and we have suspended the search and rescue mission. We sent those teams home to rest. They were out the entire night. We deployed every air asset we have for this, our drone systems, our aircraft, our helicopters, thermal sensors, infrared. We have used everything at our disposal. They will be standing by for now. We will call them out again if further searching is required. But right now, this is being treated less as a search mission and more as a crime scene. Regarding the FBI's role, they are providing the following support. Their contribution is primarily analytical and technical. They are analyzing cell phones and obtaining cell tower information. as well as conducting interviews and providing whatever support our department requires. We are investigating this from every angle, but we need assistance from the public. If you live in the vicinity or saw anything on Saturday night, the 31st of January, or Sunday morning, the 1st of February, please contact the Piatt County Sheriff's Department or the FBI. Let's be realistic, Tucson has crime all the time, right? Just like any other city. So when you ask about a public threat, are you suggesting someone is abducting elderly people nightly? We have no information to support that, nor do we believe that is the case. We are operating on the belief that Nancy was taken from her home against her will. On matters of entry, stolen items, or bank card usage, we are not commenting. I will tell you that we processed this location as we would any crime scene. We collected all potential evidence, which of course includes looking for fingerprints, DNA, and camera footage. Everything imaginable was gathered. That evidence is now with labs and technology partners for analysis, so now we wait, just like you. We are anticipating the return of those results. Is there any way to pinpoint a more helpful time frame? A report mentioned a pacemaker alert at approximately 2 in the morning. Can we direct the public to the 1 or 2 a.m. window to help? I am hesitant to specify a time, as it could cause us to overlook important leads. We are actively working with the data that was provided for analysis. We are attempting to establish a more precise time frame. For the time being, we are adhering to our previous statement. She was dropped off at 9:30 and discovered missing around 11 Sunday morning. I chose to engage our PARP team, the Puma Regional Critical Incident Team. The team comprises law enforcement from the entire valley. This includes the Pasuyaki, Tucson, and Morirana police departments. Also, the Oro Valley, Puma College, and Tucson International Police. Sarita Police and many others are providing immense support, which is crucial for the task ahead. The FBI has also dedicated significant personnel to partner directly with us. They will be present for interviews and for all evidence processing. Our teams are working as a single integrated unit. All information is being shared between agencies to resolve this case. It is critical our partners understand their roles in this complex and dynamic investigation. Analysis is currently pending. We are also awaiting lab reports. For example, with DNA, we expedited what we believed was the most promising sample. That sample was fast-tracked, and we have received initial findings. Those results were minimal concerning the blood found on the porch. We tested that sample, and it matched Nancy. That is what we know. However, additional items are still awaiting analysis. While waiting for results, our investigation is actively proceeding. We are receiving a substantial number of new leads. This is one reason for the FBI's involvement, and Patrick was brought in to manage incoming leads with the utmost expediency. The family stated she was home between 9:30 and 9:45. At 11 a.m., a church member alerted the family that she was not there. Arriving at the home, they found her missing. This establishes the timeline. The window is from 9:45 Saturday night to 11 Sunday morning. Let me take a question from someone in the back, please. Have the individuals who reported her missing been interviewed? That would be the family, and we have also spoken with people from the church. We are conducting many interviews. I am certain they were included. Has the security footage from the house been accessed? That material has been submitted, and we are working with the responsible companies. The investigation involves both the owners and camera manufacturers. What about the report of a suspicious man nearby last week? Are you aware of that personally? I am not. My detectives may be, but I cannot discuss operational details of their work. Regarding the family's initial call to report her absence, what was the condition of the house? That is information I do not have. Blood was reportedly found in the residence and is undergoing DNA analysis. What was the quantity of blood and where was it located? I will not confirm the presence of blood either inside or outside the home. What I can confirm is that our team handled the location as a standard crime scene. We enter and process the scene for any physical evidence, such as blood, DNA, or fingerprints. All such items are collected and then submitted to a lab. That laboratory then reports its findings back to us. So nothing from the lab has yet identified the person responsible. Why hasn't the surveillance footage been released to the media? That is the question I'm asking. It's baffling why I don't have it. It is a process, I understand, but we are certainly grateful that major corporations have gone above and beyond to assist us. I cannot fault them. They understand the urgency, but I share your frustration. Why don't we have that information now? Sir, Michael with Fox Digital. Sheriff, you've said there are no identified suspects. Have you cleared anyone she was with on Saturday evening? We have spoken with a great many people. I'm confident my investigators have their own theories on who is clear. But no one is officially ruled out. New information could always emerge. You mentioned being unaware of where the forced entry report originated. Do we know how the attacker gained entry into her house? That is not information I am at liberty to discuss. Regardless, the DNA analysis for this investigation is currently handled by the Putnam County Sheriff's Department. But if needed, having the FBI assist is certainly an option. And just a quick follow-up. To be clear, when we first arrived at that scene, on Saturday night, we were alone. The FBI and others have since requested access. That is the activity you have been witnessing. As of now, we have not identified a person of interest or a suspect. We are working tirelessly to do so. To be clear, there is no prime suspect. We simply have not reached that stage of the investigation. This timeline was developed from processed evidence, including collected electronic devices. And I know that looking at this, you're going to ask, Sheriff, why did it take this long to release this information? Well, for one, items must be sent to different labs for processing. And sometimes the results create more questions for us, just like for you. We have to ask, what is this? So the item is sent back or to another facility. That cycle of processing, review, and questioning happens with every piece of evidence. At roughly 5:32 p.m., these times are approximate. Nancy went to a family member's home at 9:48 p.m. She was dropped off at home, which matches the family's statement. We know this because a garage door opened at approximately, and I must stress approximately, 9:48 p.m. At 9:50 p.m., the door closed, at which point we believe Nancy was inside for the night. Early Sunday morning at 1:47 a.m., the doorbell camera went offline. At 2:12 a.m., software flagged a person on camera, but no video is available. Without a subscription, the system automatically overwrites existing footage. It essentially loops, recording over itself. Our analysis team has confirmed this. The window from 1:47 to 2:28 suggests a 45-minute presence on the property. Those times speak for themselves, but are approximates. To address the widespread speculation, could you please clarify the known facts? The ransom demand mentioned 2 specific items, an Apple Watch and a floodlight. We will not be providing further specifics. To protect the investigation, we must withhold facts that could be exploited by others. The demand that was sent to the media is the one we are actively investigating. Regarding the imposter, an arrest was made this morning, and more information will be released. We have no evidence connecting this individual to Nancy's case. He was purely an opportunist. Aside from the technology used for the timeline, is there physical evidence? Beyond the technology, is anything else assisting your investigation? As I said from day one, technology will be the key to solving this case. However, we have also processed the scene for biological evidence. We are still hopeful something might materialize from that. With Richard Relos, Rayan Yankee, yes, we saw you at the scene, I believe, bringing a tripod into the sister's home. What level of involvement, if any, did the FBI have in creating the video? Do you have any guidance for the family? We always offer our expertise and consultation to families in kidnapping situations if they ask. Ultimately, the family decides which messages to release. She was found missing, and a 911 call was made at 12:03 p.m. Our patrol teams arrived approximately 10 to 12 minutes later. They assessed the situation, and we launched our response with search and rescue and our detectives. In fact, someone questioned why an ICAC member was here. Every unit is involved. Everyone in our criminal investigations division is a part of this investigative effort. The doorbell camera was, in fact, removed. We know it was taken, but we are not confirming reports of other cameras being destroyed. I'm not sure of that rumor's origin, but we are not confirming it. The vehicle at the home was removed as part of standard investigative practice. This action was authorized under the court-ordered search warrant. We remove a vehicle from the scene to conduct our forensic processing. We spoke to an Uber driver, having learned Nancy had taken one to her daughters for dinner, and we gathered that information. Regarding a team at the house again yesterday, as I said before, our partners wanted a chance to examine the scene themselves. More to the point, we are constantly reevaluating leads and asking, what about this? So we must return to the scene to check on specific details. On another note, there was a mention of a forced entry. I have no idea where that originated. We have been absolutely consistent on this. We are not discussing the method of entry at all. That is a detail we are withholding. So I cannot say where that information came from. though you are all documenting our every move. We were there last night speaking with the family and the Uber driver, the gardener, the pool person. It's cliche, but everyone is still a person of interest. That's our standard investigative approach. It doesn't mean we have a prime suspect. No, the family has been completely cooperative. They have fulfilled every request we've made, and we need that relationship to continue. Public negativity can significantly harm our investigation and our overall efforts. Was blood discovered in any other part of the residence? For now, the only confirmed DNA sample we have is from the porch. Certain items get prioritized for rush processing at the lab, but even that takes 2, 3, maybe 4 days. Non-urgent items can be 10 or 20 days. But we understood the critical nature of that blood. It matched Nancy, confirming the evidence was isolated to that area. It appeared nowhere else inside. We've swept the entire home for biologicals, but those results are still pending. This investigation has a long road ahead, and the answer is often staring us in the face. With every review of these key moments, the questions begin to eclipse the facts. Now I need your input. What detail from the press briefings grabbed your attention? Share your theories in the comments, as a single overlooked point could shift the entire investigation. Take care, everyone, and I'll catch you in the next video.